Hello, everyone. I'm Ryan, back with David to discuss another Alien film. We saw a comment from someone on one of our previous videos suggesting we watch Independence Day, so that's what we did today.
Yeah, we got to sit down and watch Independence Day. We did see the comment. We were like, you know what, this is one that we thought about, so we were like, let's watch it. Maybe it's better than the last one we've seen.
Yeah, I personally have never seen it. I haven't really even heard of this movie because I guess it's from like 1996, so it's pretty old.
I've heard of it before, but I've never
Gotcha.
gotten around to watching it.
Yeah, fair enough. I thought it was I thought it was a good movie overall though.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely enjoyed it.
Yeah. So I thought another central theme in this movie that we've seen in like all the movies we've seen so far is that these aliens had a mothership. Uh,
Yeah, they did have a mothership. The mothership wasn't really the big part of it. Like, yeah, there was a mothership, but then the focus was more on the other ships that were like, down below. So we didn't really get to hear them talk much about the mothership.
yeah, aliens kind of. Well, the mothership was like shown at the very beginning, taking out our satellites in the sky, like before the attack even started. And then it like dropped. I forget how many of the bigger ships it dropped, or like smaller ships it dropped onto like our planet.
Well, I know
But
it dropped like one like in like every major city in the U.S. and I think it did that in like every other country as well.
yeah, so they had them like spread all across the globe.
Yeah.
Those ships were still massive though. Like they covered like all of New York almost, and like all
Oh
of
no, yeah, the
DC.
ships were massive. Like you would think like the ship that was standing it was in front of it was the mothership. Like we saw like in I think it was the other movie District 9. That big ship there was I think the mothership, the quote unquote mothership, and that was smaller than the ship that came out of the mothership in Independence Day.
Yeah, Independence Day ship was so big it literally like casted a whole shadow on the whole area around. Like you saw
Yeah,
when
like
it
it was
whenever
like
the oh go ahead.
I was just saying like it was like over like I know it was like over Philadelphia and like New York and it was just like a shadow over the entire city.
Yeah. And whenever the whole moon was like it almost looked like an eclipse. Like I don't understand
Oh
how
yeah.
people didn't notice it then.
Well, it could have been during the day. Yeah, I think it was like someone was part of during the day, so they didn't like notice. And by the point that was nighttime, it was already like the ships were already in front of the city.
Yeah, that's fair. I feel like if this was to happen to us, dude, it'd be so terrifying. I don't see how people were welcoming them to Earth.
Well, I told you like when we were watching it, you said that, and I was like, it's kind of like when you see serial killers, like you kind of become infatuated with them. They're bad and yeah, they kill people, but like look at Jeffrey Dahmer. He had fans sending him letters and money, and while he was in prison.
Yeah, that is true. They just kind of like that's just weird to me. I couldn't imagine doing that.
I mean, it's like I don't know how to explain it, but it's like it's kind of like like liking like weird stuff, or like being
Gotcha.
into like things that like normal people aren't into.
It's like a kink for them, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess some people do kind of like sexualize it.
hmm I thought it was like when the ships finally started to open up once they landed, and it was like that huge blue light. It almost like hypnotized people because like they had never seen something like that before.
Oh, I don't really think it hypnotized anybody, unless I didn't see that.
Well, no, it didn't like hypnotize them as in like the sense of it actually like taking control of them. It hypnotized them in the sense like they just couldn't stop looking at it because it was like insane.
Well, I mean, what else are you gonna do? Like, there's like a blue beam in the sky. I wouldn't really
Yeah,
say hypnotizing. I mean, if there was a beam outside, like any kind of beam, you'd kind of look at it, be like, what's that? I wouldn't really say that's hypnotizing.
that's true. It just like pulls your interest, and then it started shooting lasers at people.
Well, it didn't shoot lasers at people. It shot one massive laser.
Yeah, which did a shit ton of damage.
Yeah, like destroy the whole city basically.
Yeah, and then they sent in the military, and the ship also had a force field around it, which is another common theme we've seen.
Yeah, force fields are definitely a common thing we see in I think every movie. Which it is. I would like to know how hard of a concept that'd be to create a force field, especially like around a moving object, because every alien species has one. Like even you look at Star Wars, Star Trek, all these other things, like in the future, like things have force fields or whatever.
Yeah, so I wonder like how distant of a future it would be for us to get force fields, because they've been in
Yeah.
Hollywood for years. Because like Star Wars came out in like what 1970s?
Yeah, maybe earlier than that, but I just think around the 70s or 80s.
Yeah, that's nuts. It's cool that like we've seen like shields go from like different generations of Hollywood, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to know what like the idea is, like why it's so fixated on a like force field or shield, because like I mean, like how realistic do they think this is? Because like we saw like in the Back to the Future that like flying cars or like flying hoverboards or whatever, and like at that point in the movie they were in the year what like 2020 or whatever, and now in the year 2020 like like hoverboards aren't really something that exists right now.
Yeah, we don't even. You're right. I
So
think
I just wonder what the fixation is on this force field and why they just add it to every like space movie
yeah.
or alien movie.
I think of the fixation on these force fields is the fact that like when you see like our military in these movies, think it's like a Hollywood effect, you know? Like when you see your military in these movies go after them and you realize that like oh shit, like they can't do anything to harm these creatures like the alien machinery. I think it's supposed to like give you like a sense of like oh you like they're hopeless, so it kind of just builds conflict in the movie.
Yeah, yeah, I guess that makes sense.
And I also think like just the concept behind shields are so sick. Like I think they're cool.
Yeah, I think it's cool, but I just think it's done in every movie, so it's kind of like you're expecting it. Like when there was a scene where they sent the military in like instantly to go like shoot missiles at him. I was like, yeah, there's gonna be a force field here.
Hmm. Yeah, we
Like
did
it's
call
just
that
like
out.
yeah, it's like expected at this point.
Yeah, I think it's just like a Hollywood thing. I'd be very
Yeah, you could be
surprised
right.
if aliens land on Earth one day and they don't have a force field. I think we should all cheer because we have a chance.
I mean, yeah, but that's not saying that they don't have like something else that's an even better defense. Kind of
Yeah, that's
like
true.
just you shoot missiles at them and it just shoots a million flares.
Hmm.
Like I definitely think if an alien species did come down here, their military defense would be way better than anything we would ever expect.
Yeah, I think movies do a good job of showing that too, though, because you always see aliens with laser guns and what you call it, like grenade launchers and rocket launchers. Like they never have like a normal like machine gun, you know?
Yeah, but I mean that's just because they use different technology, I guess.
Yeah, but I think that's just to show that like they've adapted to doing that because they're like more advanced than we are. Because like we have grenade
Yeah,
launchers and rockets, but like we don't run around like close combat using them.
yeah,
Why do that's also another common thing though is like they always have laser beams.
yeah. I think that's mainly just like I also don't think that I think like you mentioned it. I think that is just Hollywood. I think there's no better way to like like show like that they're advanced and show that they're in the in the future besides showing like lasers. Like you look back at Star Wars, another example. They have blasters that shoot lasers and they have lightsabers. I think it's
Yeah.
just like the idea that it looks cool.
Yeah, it is like infatuation with Hollywood. It does make for really good films though.
Because like you look in this movie, they were shoot. I feel like bullets would if travel faster than lasers, or not faster, but I feel like in a lot of movies you'll see that they don't shoot as fast with the lasers as you would like a real gun.
Yeah. I don't know
Like
though
it's kind of
because
like in Star Wars, it's like a pew 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 pew.
yeah. But I also think like the idea behind a laser is you're shooting like a beam of light, so theoretically you're shooting at the speed of light.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying like you can't get out as many, at least
Yeah,
in the movie.
you're
Or the
right.
rate of fire is like slower.
Yeah. So would you rather have like a laser gun or
Oh, I'd definitely rather have a laser gun.
Yeah, okay. I was about to say. We can argue that one.
No, there's no argument, man. Lasers are cool. Like I
Yeah.
said, Hollywood has convinced me that lasers are cool.
Yep. I'm gonna be disappointed if I'm not like if I somehow survive an extinction level event and aliens didn't shoot lasers at me. I'm gonna be disappointed that I didn't get to live to tell that story. That I got
Yeah,
shot
yeah,
by a laser.
yeah, I do think that, like lasers are always are God, stumbling on words here. Lasers are always included in alien movies or like space movies.
Yeah.
So that's something that we kind of expect with like the force field.
Yeah. I agree. I will say I was really surprised in this movie how quick the director was to like introduce you to a character, and like a few seconds later they would just die.
And not really. I think that was only with his pilot friends or whatever, the Air Force.
Yeah, but then it was also like his journalist guy too.
Yeah, I guess. It was really his whole Air Force crew, the the journalist guy, and then his wife that it was where they just like showed up and instantly died. But I mean, they had really no purpose in the plot.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I kind of I liked his boy in the plane, the one that he was wanting to smoke a cigar with.
Yeah, but I
Oh,
mean, I think the purpose of that was just like, all his friends and everybody they knew died. So, now he's really motivated to, fight back.
oh yeah, I agree. But like, I just thought that was something to point out, I guess. And then, did you notice how quickly in the movie, like, our military, like, general wanted to turn to nukes? Like, as soon as our first attack didn't work, he instantly just wanted to nuke areas.
Well, he kind of had no choice. I mean, what else did they have? Their missiles weren't working. They clearly didn't want peace. Like, there's no other choice at that point.
Yeah, but like, their missiles already weren't working, so like, how would a nuke work? You know?
Well, I mean, at that point, you're thinking like maybe the force field won't isn't strong enough to destroy, isn't strong enough to withstand a nuke.
Yeah, that's fair. And then I found it really interesting how this movie showcased a lot about like Area 51 and like it gave into the conspiracy theories about it.
Oh yeah, I definitely like how they introduced Area 51. Like I think we had a conversation. Like I was like, I wonder if this movie like helped to like popularize Area 51.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I think it did, honestly. Because it was so interesting because like now we look at conspiracy theories and now that I've seen this movie, they're so similar to each other.
Yeah, I definitely, I think we're in the future. We definitely want to do an Area 51 podcast because I definitely think there's stuff going down there.
Yeah, I agree. I want to look into theories about that and like UFO sightings and stuff.
Yeah, because it was kind of cool seeing like how the like scientists I was down there was like, yeah, we're not really allowed to leave.
Yeah.
Kind of shows how like secret Area 51 is.
Yeah, and how like half the White House staff had like didn't even know Area 51 was like a real place.
Yeah, like even the president didn't know at the time, and like withheld like all the information about the UFOs and alien sightings.
Yeah. So that leads me to think like, do you think if this is way out there, but do you think if an actual alien invasion happened, Area 51 would like actually be crucial to us?
I don't know if it'd be crucial, but I definitely think if Area 51, actually does have knowledge of aliens and stuff like that, I think they would definitely like, go to them and try to learn what. I don't know if I want to say learn. I'll say they definitely would like communicate with Area 51 and like maybe like they know something that like not everybody knows.
Yeah. Do you think they would communicate that with like the world though?
I don't think they would communicate with the world because I think if there was like aliens like that, I think they would still like try to keep it like under wraps. Kind of like in the movie, they at first like they didn't want to like evacuate. They didn't, or maybe they did want to evacuate. I don't know if they did or didn't, but they for sure like want to try to keep it like on the down low and just like not to like create like hysteria and like have
Mass panic.
everybody running away. Yeah, mass
Yeah.
panic.
Hmm.
But I definitely think they would keep it on the down low, even if
Yeah.
around now there were aliens.
Yeah. I just think it's interesting that they like showed all of that because like even like Like the president was freaking out at Area 51 about like the alien invasion, and then like the scientists were just acting all chill about it, like it's whatever.
Yeah, they were even joking about it. That he made a comment, he laughed about it, and the president looked at him and was like, "This is no laughing matter." And I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh yeah, my bad."
And then the one of the scientists, like the head scientist, was actually like happy the aliens invaded, so they could get more ideas on how to use the alien technology.
Yeah, because it was when the aliens came down, it was able to, you know, set the ship off, and it was able to like do things that it wasn't able to do before.
Yeah, and they were excited that like they could study it more,
Hmm.
but they still didn't share that information with anybody.
Yeah, I mean, kind of what they know, explaining it to like someone who has no idea what they're even talking about, it's not gonna make sense. It's like whenever you talk about biology to me, I have no idea what you're talking about.
That is true.
Like they could explain it, but they're probably not gonna understand it.
Mhm. So I guess I want to transition into what did you think of like the looks of the alien?
I think those aliens look similar to what other movies kind of also show. Like they kind of have that weird triangle head, or not triangle, was it like a trapezoid head? I
I
think
guess
I
it was
think that
kind of
was
like a
similar.
yeah,
Like it's similar to like World of Worlds. They also kind of have like that trapezoid head.
yeah, and they were tall and they had like the prong things like sticking out of their backs.
Yeah.
They were also like unkillable, dude. Like those things were eating a lot of
What do you mean
stuff.
unkillable?
They ate like that thing ate so many shots in the lab.
Doesn't mean it's unkillable. 50
Yeah,
Cent took 9 bullets and he's still alive.
that's
There's
true.
definitely like a lot of people who get shot and are still like still like moving around.
Yeah, dude, I thought
Like
it
he
was
got
so
like so many like military personnel shot at him, but doesn't necessarily mean they like hit a headshot on him.
yeah.
Like they
Well,
explain like they're basically like us, they're as vulnerable as us.
hmm well, yeah, because they cut that one's like head open, right, to reveal his real face.
Yeah. Or was it to review? I still don't know what they were doing because they cut him open and I guess they assumed there was gonna be something on the inside. I
Yeah,
guess.
I think it was like, I think that was the alien's like armor.
Yeah, it could have been an armor sort. Because he
Yeah,
came, I'm still confused on how he came out of the big, I guess, body that it was in, and he came out bigger.
yeah, he came out like scary.
Yeah, he came out and he was like 8 foot tall, ready to kill people.
I wonder if that was like the fight or flight response activating for it.
Yeah, it could be.
Like I think that's interesting.
Did you like Will Smith in it?
Yeah, dude. Okay, I think every movie with Will Smith is just guaranteed to be a good one. That's what I've
Yeah,
learned.
he had a lot of iconic one-liners that I'm still curious to know if those one-liners came from this movie.
Dude, he always puts out one-liners.
Yeah, I love Will Smith. I think he's a great actor. I think he's pretty funny too.
I do too. And I think he's great at like providing like super serious content, but like also keeping like a comedic mood about crazy like things happening.
Yeah, I feel like that's how Will Smith is in real life. I feel like the way he's portrayed in movies is the way he's in real life. I feel
Yeah,
like
I feel
he's
like
a
he's so
serious person, but he can make jokes about anything really.
yeah, I feel like he's pretty genuine too.
Yeah, I love Will Smith.
Yeah, dude, he bungee jumped in the Grand Canyon or some shit.
Wait, what?
Yeah, you didn't see that?
When?
For his like 50th birthday or something. It was a few years ago.
Oh no, I have no idea what that is.
Gotcha. Well, to get back on topic, it was weird how speaking of Will Smith, he just kind of like showed up in the lab, brute force his way in, and then they were like looking at the UFO, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I know how to fly that thing." And then nobody like asked questions, and they were like, "Okay, put him in there, put him in there."
Well, I mean, he was the only one that really volunteered for it.
Yeah, but even like
Uh,
the scientists were like going against him doing it.
yeah, but I mean, what are you gonna do? Like, there was nothing else they could do. At this
Yeah,
point, the world's about to, be extinct.
he just kind of like got in there and did his thing, dude.
Well, yeah, I mean, like he came in and he was like, "You got no clearance for this," and then he showed the aliens like, "This is the first guy that's ever shot down a alien spaceship. I think that's clearance enough." And he brought in a live alien.
Yeah, and then that one dude did like a showcase of how to like break down the shields. and it led to them coming up with an insane plan.
Yeah.
I thought it was cool because we always talk about how like you don't know if the world would unify to attack the aliens together. I thought it was really cool how in this movie the world unified because I was like, holy cow, like that's something I've been like wanting to see for a while.
Yeah, that's definitely what I thought of while watching me. I was like, I'm always more on the on. I don't want to say I'm against you. I'm just more of I doubt that that would happen. So it was
Yeah,
nice to get like a different perspective where they kind of did unify and for a common cause.
I felt a strong urge for, like patriotism, bro. Like I wanted to go sign up for the military.
Yeah.
I'm,
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
Okay.
But I thought that part was really cool because for the most part we haven't seen like a global scale war like this one. We've just seen like it happening in one area and how they deal with it, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, we
And
didn't really get to see how the other like countries, handled their alien spaceships, since like every country got a spaceship that was hovering over them.
yeah, but we saw like I'm pretty sure in the lab they talked about how the aliens had like telekinetic ability to speak with each other. I'm pretty sure when they nuked the mothership, it kind of just like destroyed the others.
No, I don't think that's what happened. What happened was they once they like took out their spaceship, they relayed the message and explained to every other country how to like take it out.
Oh, and then they just like did away with them.
Yeah,
Gotcha. Never mind then.
everyone's able to like launch their own attack. Now, once they figured out how to destroy them,
Yeah, I thought it
like
was
once they
cool.
realized that we had to do was destroy that like center area where the beam shot out of that was kind of the kill switch right there.
So I guess every other country just kind of followed suit.
Yeah.
It was cool how they showed like the aftermath of other countries' fights with the spaceships.
Yeah, like you were able to see that they were successful in destroying the ships.
Yeah, that was cool. So like overall, what would you rate this movie?
Uh, from an entertainment purpose, I'd give it like an 8, 9, 8. I'd give it like an 8.5. From a
Uh-huh.
realistic standpoint, I'd probably give it like a 6.5.
Okay, so I think from do you want to dive deep into that, or should I get my
Yeah,
rating and then?
I was gonna dive deep, but you can give your rating.
Okay, so I'm kind of with you. I think I was interested like the whole way through. So like I'll give it like an 8.5 out of 10 for entertainment because I thought it was so good. I just like Will Smith, dude. Like if Will Smith's in a movie, it's an instant 5, and then if there's a war going on, it has to be like a 3 added on. And they did a really
Hmm.
good job for what they had back in 1996.
Yeah.
I feel like if I saw this movie back then, I would have been like, wow, like this is like revolutionary, you know.
Hmm.
I think for like as realistic as the invasion could go, I'd give it like a 6.5, 6. Yeah.
All right. Well, I like I said, I thought it was a great movie. I enjoyed it, but I just realistically, I did. One thing I will point out is I think I talked about this in the other podcast after like War of the Worlds. I like
Hmm.
how this one they kind of came in, were set up, and were able to just completely like destroy cities. So
Yeah.
that's what I always thought. Like I felt like if an alien species came down, they're already more advanced than us. So I felt that it'd be very hard for them just not to be able to just like destroy like major cities and like be able to like cause complete havoc. And that's one thing I did like about this movie, and I thought was realistic. How they just came down, had ships all over the country, and were just like able to destroy like major cities, and you just saw like it looked like places were like nuked basically.
Yeah.
But I didn't like how they were able to just like figure out the how to beat the aliens in like in like one day,
Hmm.
because it was all in the span of the July 4th, and they were just able to figure out all right, this is how we destroy them. I feel like it would take so much longer to like really understand like what they're capable of, like how their defenses work, and what it would take to destroy them.
Yeah. So to kind of piggyback off of you, I agree. I really liked how this movie the attack was literally just so straightforward. They literally just took out our satellites when they're on the way to here, dropped their ships, and they were like, okay, this is how it's gonna be, and they started destroying cities. I hated how in War of the Worlds they had like they showed them being like so smart because they set up the attack like years and years and years before. Like I don't think there's a point in showing them being that smart because they're already that smart by the fact of them like bringing a whole army to like to Earth, you know. So I thought it
Hmm.
was cool how they just instantly just destroyed Earth.
Yeah, like I said, I think that's very realistic to how an actual alien invasion would go. They would just
Yeah.
show up and just destroy everything.
And to kind of play devil's advocate for your point of us figuring it out that quick, there is like what 8 billion people on Earth. I think surely somebody would figure it out, but I agree with you that it wouldn't happen that quickly. It would at least
I'm,
be at least like 3 days, and at that point, I don't think there would be much of us left to launch a scale attack of that like magnitude back.
I mean, like you said, there's 8 billion people here. Yeah, someone is gonna figure it out, but I think it would take way longer than 3 days.
Yeah,
Like their technology is so foreign to us that like I don't think I would take us a very long time. I'm thinking months, years to figure out anything about them.
and at that point, like we're already gone. There's nothing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like I just don't think that's realistic. I think for just like movie purposes, like yeah, we figured it out.
yeah. I think it was like a Hollywood thing for them to do it that quickly. I was saying,
Oh
I
yeah,
don't
honestly,
know. You really think it would take years?
I think it'd be months or years.
Because Will Smith did destroy one of them.
I mean, he didn't really destroy it. He shot out of he shot a parachute out of his jet and then just flew into a rock and the alien spaceship kind of just avoided the rock and crash landed. That doesn't mean he figured it out.
Yeah. I will say I
Like
thought it was really unrealistic how they were able to sneak in to the mothership with the UFO. Like that's cool or whatever.
yeah,
I I thought the hacking thing was too simplistic, dude. I feel like an alien would understand if something was wrong with his ship.
yeah, I definitely agree.
And
Like
then
I
they
feel
kind
like
of
we're
like,
expect well I don't know because like we make them out to be like really smart like in every movie, but there's always like
mhm.
something that there's parts where like they don't fully understand us, so they something might get past them. Because
Yeah,
just because
but
we're like sending a virus to them doesn't mean they understand what that is.
I
Doesn't
feel
mean
like
like they don't have that like in their species.
they would have a better system or like some type of communication, especially if a ship was docking onto the mothership though. Like you know how whenever our planes are landing, they're always like talking to the landing tower about like when they're gonna land.
Yeah,
I feel like they would have some type of system like that. Like there'd be no reason not to on their
I ag-
mothership.
I agree, but then are you really gonna expect some two random fuckers just to pull up in an alien spaceship and just pull up there?
That's true. But even when the guy realized that they were not actual aliens, like they were humans, there was three ships like staring at them for like 2 minutes, not doing anything.
I mean, what can you do?
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
they
I
weren't.
guess you could just like shoot and destroy it, but I mean, you're just gonna damage what's on the inside of the ship.
Yeah, that's fair. For Hollywood purposes, I thought this was a sick movie.
Oh yeah, I enjoyed it. There was definitely more action in this than I expected. And like even though we talked about the CGI being terrible, like it's 1996. I think it was
Hmm.
pretty good for this time. Like if I was watching this like back then, like I think I would have really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Like it was definitely ahead of its time.
Yeah. Okay, before we finish, one part that really, really surprised me in this movie was the fact that the president was fighting alongside his boys, you know, the people.
Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Kind of like how George Washington did it like back then. I
Hmm.
think it was really cool.
You
Like
know
his
that, dude?
speech that he gave was really good.
Yeah, dude, I was fired up. I would sign up off of that, dude.
Yeah, his speech was great. And then like just imagine like being like you're a crop duster, like one of the guys was. Like he explained like he went to Vietnam and then he came back and he was a crop duster. Like imagine
Yeah.
just being a crop duster and you see your president give like an insane speech, you're ready to fight, and the next thing you know he's like getting ready, hops in the jet and is like flying with you. Like that's pretty sick.
Yeah, like you would be so motivated to go win that war.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool. Is there anything else you would want to say?
I'm trying to think. Because that was a very long movie. It was 2 hours and 30 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, a lot. Okay, so 90s music, bro, slaps.
90s music. Okay.
Dude, they played a lot of 90s music and I was vibing, man.
Eh, I didn't really. I'm not saying I didn't dislike it, but I think 90s music is overrated.
Hmm. Dude, I love
I don't.
90s music. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, to each their own.
Yeah.
Try to think if I can remember any other big moments.
Uh,
Like we basically covered the beginning, how the motherships, force field, all this and that.
Area 51 was kind of big.
Yeah,
After
we
like
covered Area 51.
the only thing that really happened between the beginning part that we already discussed and Area 51 was them just like running away from the evasion, and then like like we discussed them talking about nuking areas.
But they actually did drop a nuke. It just didn't work.
Yeah,
Actually destroyed Houston is where they dropped it at.
and then they realized they made a mistake.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know if I asked you this. You can just say we did and we can go on. Do you think we would be that quick to use nukes?
Mm, I think you kind of did ask it, but like not in the same way. But I don't think we'd be as quick. I think nukes are kind of like a thing that we're kind of like trying to stay away from using. So I don't think we would use nukes no matter what, unless like
Hmm.
it was like at like we're gonna die if we don't try it. I think that's the only time we would use a nuke to try to kill the aliens, like an alien invasion.
Yeah. I mean, I would hope we wouldn't use a nuke, but I think at that point it's an extinction level event. We would use them like with with regrets, but we would almost have to use them for a sense of like it's us or them.
Yeah, I agree.
Uh, I don't really think there was much else that really happened.
Yeah, no, I think that was basically it. I think the part where the dad, who there was a duster when he sacrificed himself, was pretty cool. I think it
Yeah,
was a good ending for his story.
especially because it seemed like he wasn't like that good of a parent and he didn't really do much.
And like at the beginning, it was kind of like a deadbeat, and then at the end, he's kind of like the the hero of the story.
Yeah. I like how they added in like small little stories like that. Like they added in the president's story, they added in Will Smith's story, they added in the crop duster story, and then like at the end they all met together and they kind of like fought together.
Yeah, it was definitely nice seeing other like perspectives from people.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think we've covered everything.
Yeah. Well, as always, guys, this has been Beyond the Perception. Thank you guys so much for watching, and see you guys next time.
See you guys.